Surprise! Can you guys hear me? Hello. Hi, everybody. Gotta move my chair out. Oops. Hi. How is everybody? Okay, great. Just making sure you guys can hear me, see me, feeling me. Hi, Terry. Hi, Jan. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you. Happy birthday to my twins. Oh, my goodness. Perfectly. Okay, because I have Magic Mike, Hank the Magic Mike, doing his thing. Here he is. Kind of makes me feel important. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I've got lights, camera. I got 2 cameras. One camera is aimed down at Magic Mike. And I really don't have a purpose for that one. But I thought, what the heck? Just in case I needed it. In fact, I should show what I was working on. I see you, I hear you. So I have notes, and it is my twin's birthday today. Here's what I was working on. Let's see if I can get that in the view of the camera. Let's see. It's really, the background is super ugly. It's going to take a miracle to save this, but that's what I was working on. That's not a tooth. That will be a leaf. In fact, I should just leave that right there. Okay. There we go. That's what I was working on. I was just sitting here. Okay. So, welcome. It's 5:28. We have a couple of minutes to wait for people. Uh-oh, no sound. But somebody said I don't see anything. Go back and come back in. I'm here. Okay. If you hear me, see me, give me a thumbs up, that kind of thing. Thank you. The background was a mistake. I'm probably going to change that out, but I went from bad to worse. Not bad to worse. I went from not on, okay, because I know I just was checking on my phone, and I can see me on my phone. I don't leave it on. But with people logging in, loud and clear in Michigan. Well, if they can hear me in Michigan, they can hear me anywhere. So that's what I was working on. Good. That's good to hear. I like that. I like it. I love it. So today I'm going to bring up a topic I'm not that comfortable with. But I'm hoping it resonates and helps a few. So there's Betty. Hi, Betty. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Terry. Hi, Mary. So maybe you guys could tell me where you're checking in from. Now I'm just getting... Judy, you're in. Okay. So tonight we're just having a little chit chat. Every Wednesday, it's 5:29. Every Wednesday, I get on this page and I pick various topics to talk about. Sometimes I'll journal. Most of the times, though, I do that with my Artful Journaling group. But every Wednesday, I pick various topics, introduce various things. Good. People are telling me where they're from. I know where Judy is calling from. I have spent the night in her lovely home. So tonight, I was just showing you what I was working on. I was just sitting here. So I was like, I think of topics. I go to bed at night and I start writing. And this topic came up. I got to move something. I'm just going to put the screen on moi. Okay. So I, as an artist, there's lots of things I think about. But I go to bed at night and I have a notebook next to my bed. And Oh, that's a great question, Diana. Okay, for those, you know what? I'm just digging in. For those of you who are new and never been here, please introduce yourselves, and I myself should do the same. Okay, so I am Tracy Weinzapfel, and this is my studio. I just have it aimed one way. I'm trying different stuff, different lighting. And so I have been an artist, well, since I came out of my parents' womb. Now, my dad does not have a womb. Could be, but he doesn't. Anything's possible, but he does not. So anyway, I was very creative growing up, and I became an artist. I've traveled all over the world, which is great. I'm more home-based now in my studio. I took a couple of years off. I am recording this, so you can come back at any time. I would love for you to share, maybe do a watch party, tell your creative friends about it. I am the co-founder of a membership group called Your Artful Journey, where my business partner, Donna, who I believe is here, and maybe she can wave her hand. She might be logged in as me or the studio sometimes, because she controls some things. She might be, sorry, I gotta pull my pants up. Okay. So I'm in my studio. Every Wednesday, I pick various topics to talk about. I am an art journaler. And I do run a membership group about art journaling, and more so about how art journaling is like therapy. I benefited from therapy in my life. There's no secret. I have OCD and perfectionism and a ton of other lovely things like high blood pressure, but that's hereditary. I won't go into what I have. So, yes, Donna handles the membership. We had just opened the membership up. I think it was a week ago. I can't even remember. The weeks are melting together. And we had a great response. We're building up my creative tribe. I couldn't be more thankful. And so in this, now I'm making myself more available. So if at any point you have questions, you want to know what's going on, where you can see me, where you get classes, whatever, go for it. Ask me anything. If I don't see it, Donna will keep track of it. I kind of have it rolling on my phone. I have it right here. And really on Wednesday nights, I like to spend about a half an hour talking about topics as an artist that we all face. Sometimes I'll give tips and tricks. Sometimes I'll just come up with something off the wall. And I came up with something a little off the wall. I don't know if you guys saw I'll show this. I don't know if I can get it to come back. No. Oh. So the topic I had selected, well, that's great. Wait, no, not working. Oh, there it is. No? Okay. Well, I don't know how to make it happen. Okay. So the topic I had selected was, I don't really know what the topic was, really comparing yourself, and where you are as an artist. And so I started to take notes last night, and I was thinking about this because something hit me on Facebook last night before I went to bed. And it was about maybe being with somebody. Oh, wait a minute. Am I still live? I still am live, right? Okay, good. Yes, good. I'm still live. Thumbs up. My phone clicked off, so I don't know if something happened. I have a great foundation from my parents, who are very creative people. My dad's a woodworker. And so I had this foundation that gave me great confidence in life. But I've always doubted myself, which is quite normal, especially when you're an artist and sharing yourself. And so I did get married. There we go. You can see me. I did get married few years back. Maybe some of you know, so maybe some of you don't. But from that came really a stealing, or maybe I let it go, of my self-confidence, which normally I'm a pretty self-confident person. I had owned my own home, did all the right things, all that stuff. But, wrong person. And I was left feeling not confident at all, which is where I kind of disappeared. And then you get back and you start rolling into your own art. And that's what I did. Little by little, I was rebuilding. And in that process, I realized something that can hold you back, and that's comparing yourself. So I have, taken classes, and I have mentors, and I have trips to art museums, and, I love Michelangelo, and I love all these various artists in life. And I can't help on a daily basis looking on Facebook and going, my life, my kids, my art, like none of this is good enough, because I'm looking at what everybody else is doing. And I don't know about you. I guess we all, look at Facebook and try to put the best foot forward. And there's some people who don't. Some people who just air their dirty laundry and they keep it real. And in some regards, I like that. In some regards, I really don't. I don't choose to do that. Don't really put my political beliefs out there. Really don't put my religious faith or anything else out there that I figure, that's personal. I want to keep things here. But one thing I do is I compare myself. And right now I have, today is my twin's birthday, turning 18 today. And we're in the college, the hunt for the perfect college, which if anybody is familiar with that, with having kids, the best preschool, the best this, the best college. Well, I'm a single mom. I want them to go where they're happy, content, doing well. And I'm so fortunate, I talk to parents, and I like to brag about my kids. I think they're amazing. But I kind of hold it close, I don't really talk about my kids' grade point averages and their test scores. I mean, I do to my close girlfriends, because you want to know where they're fitting in or what's going to be a good fit. And what do we apply to colleges that aren't going to, but I'm literally in a sea of comparison all the time. And when I got back into art, I decided I really don't want to get involved in that. I don't want to compare myself. I feel like there's room for everybody. Who's to say anybody's better than another? I have a million mentors. I've collaborated with a lot of people, and I just want that in my life. So I sat down and started writing a list. And does any of this resonate? Does anybody sit down? And I get this a lot, because people go, well, my art doesn't look like your art. And we talked about this the other night when I was art journaling with people. And my hope is that your art doesn't look like mine. I mean, I think, imitation, or what's that, is a sign of flattery. When you imitate somebody, it's flattering. And as a teacher, you put all this information out and people copy. None of that bothers me, because if I didn't put it out there, first off, if you copy it, that's fantastic. Now, if you have a painting that sells for $1 million, I'm going to be a little bummed. No. And I'm reading the comments. Okay. And Anne, I hope Anne doesn't mind me. She's typing it, but she said, this is where I'm going to continue and heal. Part of my heart and soul was stolen, but it's being filled with joy and goodness and much happiness when I create. So I will answer that question, Patricia, all the time. I never measure up. Kim, I never understand this, because I say to myself, art is not a competition. And in my family and in my life, I'm a highly competitive person. You should see me in cornhole. I turn into the devil. Jenga. That big Jenga game, that big lawn Jenga game. I don't know who I am when somebody pulls out horseshoes, Jenga, cornhole. I don't know who I am. but I am a very competitive person. And competition is wonderful. Competition can be great. As raising twins, they were in kindergarten together. That's the only class they ever had together. So I'm going to tie this in because Patricia said, are they going to go to the same school? I wish, but no. They haven't been in the same class since kindergarten. And I remember the kindergarten teacher saying to me, they're so cute. But they sat on opposite sides of the room. And then, when they were doing their trace the circles and whatever, one of them would finish and go, done, put his hands in the air and stand up. And then the other one would do the same thing. So we decided it's time to get them out. Yeah. So competing and all that, I feel like art's not an Olympic competition. Who's making more money, who's selling more art, who's doing more of anything. I try to not be mindful of that. And Kim said, I'm not comparing myself, but I wish I was better. So I'm going to say something here that has meant a lot to me. Follow your own path. You got to find it. Don't follow someone else's. Nobody has a story like yours. So even when I share my art or something or a pattern or a drawing and people do it, it turns out like theirs. It's part of their story. It's part of their improvement. It's part of their practice. I mean, I've been drawing for a very long time and it didn't come naturally to me. None of it has ever come naturally to me. So I practice and I feel really strong about this. And I'll never forget, I used to be a wedding photographer. And I learned how to take the perfect picture. I took all these really expensive classes. I had really expensive equipment. And then I realized, I trained myself how to pick apart every aspect of my picture, of my art. I knew the focal point was off, this was off, the aperture was off, it became the point. Now, of course, I was shooting weddings and I was divorced. So I also was standing at the end of the aisle going, oh. And every bride who told me, can you make me look thin? And I was like, it's a camera, not a magic wand. You should have thought of that a year ago. But that's the funny part of me. I never said it, or the mother of the bride. No. But I learned in that process of everything I did wrong. And I stopped doing it. I stopped loving it. I had friends who went on in the photography business and are doing fantastic. And I knew there was going to be a cross in the road one day where it was going to be art or taking photos. And I got to the fork in the road and I thought, I'm going to paint. I'm going to share what I love. I'm going to make my own path. And somebody said to me one time, I remember this one photographer who had this signature shot, and I'll never forget this. I don't want to name names or anything. And I'm in the class, everybody's trying to copy it. And all I could think about to myself was, I don't want to copy that photo. I don't want her photo to be my signature photo. I got to figure out how to put my spin on things. So I'm just going to take crappy photos and call them my own. No. So that fork in the road really helped me to say, I got to find my own path. I got to have my own take on every piece of art. I'm going to take every class I can. I'm going to buy every drawing book, and some drawing books were waste of money. I'm going to buy everything that is going to lead to my particular path. And I'm going to be able to put my own little spin, and I will pull out this element from this teacher, this element from this teacher, and this element from this book, and make it my own. So I feel very strong about this. And especially growing up with rules, and it's so pouring rain. 2 days ago it was 91 degrees. Right now there's just a downpour of rain, which we don't get. So I really want to encourage you guys, and I'll say this over and over again, copy, do whatever you'd like, learn from me, take bits and pieces, and that's all part of your path. That's all part of your journey, finding your own lane, whatever you want to call it, because you have to practice to get there. And I will say, I like to say, instead of comparing yourself to others, and looking where they're at, because you don't know where anybody's at. Trust me. They could have a nice white picket fence, but in their house is a hot mess. And no, I don't have a white picket fence. So if you're going to compare yourself to you. Compare yourself, look back, like right now, and I think I did this early on with you all. Pick out journals or where you started or piece of art and look at that and appreciate where you've come. So that way when you are working on things and you're like, I'm not quite that happy, that you are a lot further than when you started. And I do another thing and look at what you're learning in the process and keep building upon that. Just keep building, because if you build it, they will come. And you don't have to have, like some people say, well, I have a goal. I want to sell art. I want to be in a fine art museum. I want to be a teacher. I want to make $1 million. That's all great. But for a lot of us, that doesn't come overnight. You have to build. So if you think of yourself now and where you're at, think about where you're going to be a year from now. And I find that when you're comparing yourself to others, you're holding yourself back, and it makes you afraid to try new things. So if there's anything I can say about that. So I was writing today, and it was saying, I cannot believe, I don't know if you guys can hear the rain, but it's just coming down. And my sprinklers are still on. Okay, I really hope that stops. Okay. I heard this, care and despair. Change that to admire and inspire. I mean, that is the one thing, by sharing my story and sharing about how I let my confidence be taken, or I gave it away, or I trusted the wrong person, whatever that was, I've been rebuilding, and I won't give that away. And I am going to admire and inspire. That's going to be my new, I'm probably going to get that writing on my wall. Admire and inspire. I just love that. I want to say to you too, that remember, we all have a unique and creative voice. Your art is not going to be like anybody else's. It's probably not going to be like mine. I mean, we can all copy something, but you're going to make it better. You're going to make it yours. The other thing I've learned now is shine your light brightly and recognize what you are called to do. I always make this joke, and sometimes somebody said something like, hey, Tracy, go sit in the corner. I was laughing. I was like, nobody puts baby in the corner. I'm in a point in my life, and whether you call that 49 or not, I'm at a point in my life where I don't want anybody to dull this sparkle. Now, I hate glitter. I'm going to call it sparkle. My OCD does not allow me to pull glitter out. Somebody asked me about glitter ribbon for Christmas, and I'm like, burn it, ditch it. Nobody sent me a Christmas card with glitter on it. Okay. So remember that. The more time you spend comparing yourself to others, the less time you're taking for you to be creative and try something new. So just keep that in mind. The other thing about this industry, I'm going to say it, art, writing, music. I mean, music is never ending. There's room for many lights to shine. There is room for you and you and you and you. So I try not to get caught up in the minutia of stuff. I mean, I'm a conflict avoider. If there's conflict, I will talk about it. Mary Louise said, oh, there's rain in Phoenix. So comparison leads to negativity. That I know for sure. So I said in this one, I can't even read my own notes. Comparing ourselves to other artists, it can stunt our own creative growth. So I literally think about these things. It probably takes too much time in my little brain, but I know a lot of people are just saying, I really want to start and I want to color like you, and I want to say to them, well, you're not going to color like me. That's just not the way it's going to go. You're never going to color like me. You're going to probably get a lot of tips and tricks from me that are going to build your arsenal of creativity. And the other thing I'm really big about is not just drawing to draw, because I love it, but I am drawing to release. I am drawing to express myself to the world, whether that's color, or sometimes darker colors, but that's what I'm doing. And for those of you who like browns, I totally get it, but I don't use brown. I did use brown the other night though. And I think I took notes. I took so many notes today. And I think I covered everything, but I want to make sure, I want to know if any of this resonates with you, because I want to take away the things that are holding you back from being creative. And one of those things can be negativity and comparison. Ditch them, drop them, no rules. And I know for you decorative painters, there's lots of brushstroke rules. I always say to the decorative painters, take what you know, have learned, those brushstrokes, and put it into what I do. And it's amazing. It is amazing. So that is where I've come, and it's taken me a few years back to build my shine back up. Oh, okay. What great messages. Oh, so appropriate. Music. Here's what's in. Oh, so we're sharing. Okay, music. I can't hear anything. Thanks, Terry, for bringing me to Tracy. Let's go. Thank you so much. So many, it resonates. Oh my goodness. Always comparing myself, trying to let go. Yeah. You know what, Allie? And I saw your art from the other day, and I was like, how amazing that she did the same art piece, but on an iPad. And I'm like, oh. So that means a lot to me. And that's the stuff we're going to touch on. So if there's topics you want me to hit on Wednesday, and they can be uncomfortable, I don't mind airing my not so dirty underwear. Okay. It totally resonates. Great words from you. I get it. Yeah. Don't let anybody steal your spirit. That's not going to help you any. And the other thing I always say, always say when I'm teaching is, first off, because I get people who just start to get really frustrated and say, I give up, I don't want this. And they always say, back off, back away, and tell me something you like about the piece. It is so easy to get done with something. But my goal is not just to do something and to paint pictures. It's to be present while you're doing it. It is really hard to run a marathon while you're art journaling. Your only choice is to really be present, or to try and maybe escape from the day or the stress. I mean, yesterday I came home. I didn't feel so great. I'm very busy. I could be doing teaching stuff and my artful journey stuff 24/7. I have a full-time job. I have kids, like I said, the whole college thing. And I took a half an hour and went, wait a minute, I'm not even doing my morning meditation, because now I'm trying Pilates, which try to do Pilates when your brain is in 87 different places. But yeah, don't ever let somebody steal your joy. But if they have, or if you're not feeling it, or I just lost somebody who was near and dear to me. You're going through death, divorce, moving, whatever. You got to rebuild. And I took 2 years. I always say 2 years. I think it could have been longer. I don't know. I took 2 years to rebuild and really find my purpose, what meant something to me. And it really was, is it just this mind? Because somebody said to me, I don't get what you do with an art journal. And I went, I'm not stuck here. I'm just practicing. This is practice for when I go paint that mural on that wall. And no, I don't want to paint a mural. So nobody signed me up for that. But surround yourself with those who support your crazy little artistic self. Do it. Shine brightly. I hide my art. I can't sell it. I can't even show it because it feels so personal. I know other artists can relate. Tracy, how do we let go with art that resonates to our past loved ones, our muses only we know of? Astrid, I wish I could give you an answer to that. To me, my art journal is a diary. I've had people say, can I buy it? I'm like, I'll sell you a print out of it. I'll make a copy of it. I don't care. But I can't sell you that day when I was painting this particular piece on the day my aunt died or whatever. That I can't do. Now for me, let's see if I can aim my, hold on. I guess I have a hard time getting rid of art too. I do sell my art. I do get connected and I put a piece of myself on everything. And I've given my art pieces away to people. I guess my intent, I always tell the kids, you're sitting on $1 million here. Because just like Dr. Seuss, when I leave, this art's going to be worth a boatload. I think that's a personal choice. I know for me, I have to pay the rent somehow. So I do find something to do with my art that can resonate. I used to go sell my art pieces at various art shows and craft shows. I didn't find that filled my soul because the next person that would walk up and go, well, you're selling that for 25? Can't you sell it for 20? And you're sitting in the hot baking sun. For me, that was not my calling. And that's okay. That's okay that it wasn't mine. I will say this, and I wrote my last note on here was, I feel it's really important if you can to share your art. First off, it's a gift to the world. I mean, what if Michelangelo wouldn't have shared his? I wrote, the last thing I wrote, this is what I write at night. The last thing I wrote was community and collaboration. I notice, especially in the community that I have built or building, what I put out comes back to me tenfold. And I want the same. If I don't have the answer, somebody in the group has the answer, somebody around us, I'll look for it. Does this work? Does this work? I always get, does this work on this? And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Give me 5 minutes. I will go try it because I really don't care. I have enough supplies to be buried in this big box. I will go do it. I'm not afraid to do it. And that's the other thing I want to say. When you're comparing yourself, you're shutting yourself down, and don't do that. So Astrid, I would say there's probably a big piece of you to be shared. And many artists, whether it's music, I heard Dolly Parton being interviewed and she was saying all she's done is tell stories in her music and shared the good times, the bad times, the dark times. And she was like, what if I would have been afraid to do that? And I went, oh my goodness. Like even Dolly Parton knows how it feels, I mean, don't I look like Dolly? Wait, hold on. Yeah. I would say too, when you sell what you have, it makes space to go and make more stuff. Makes space, it makes money, whatever. But if you're not comfortable with it, I know there's certain pieces I wouldn't sell if somebody, yes, I would sell them if somebody gave me $1 million. You know what? I can put a price tag on that. It's $1 million. Yeah, I won't take a penny less. Okay, a penny less is fine. Yeah, I thoroughly believe that ever since I got my confidence, and trust me, I walk through life not confident, always doubting myself. When I felt like I could come back and get on here live, and I had an artist say to me, oh yeah, I could never go on Facebook Live. And then I looked at her, I was like, oh, like I'm doing it. And who am I? And well, I'm not so-and-so. And there is enough room for me to share my knowledge. People are always going to know more than you. They're always going to paint better than you. They're going to know more than you. But I have something to share too. And I'm going to do it. And Donna just said, I can't part with my stuff. I was just talking about selling my stuff with my sister tonight. I can't part with it. I've been lucky in the regard that I was teaching for a long while, that I got so much art that it's coming out my ears, and I would find myself throwing it out because I was like, what am I going to do with it? And then I realized people would ask me, can I have it? I'm like, can I buy it? I'm like, yeah, Yeah, here. And that's all part of my past that's up there. But just because I work in an art journal doesn't mean I paint wine barrels. I've been cutting them in half and making planners. I mean, the other thing is sometimes if you get in the mindset of creating art for sale versus keeping it for yourself, you might find that disconnect. I've been hired and commissioned to do work, and it was like, okay, I'm never keeping this. I know it's not mine. So it's easier to part with. But if it's something you create out of the depths of your happiness or the depths of your happiness or the sadness or whatever, I can understand that. But could you imagine if some of our artists never shared what we wouldn't have a song. We wouldn't have music. I mean, every song that I listened to, it came from somewhere. Yeah, share your gift. I mean, it's so amazing too to walk into somebody's house and seeing it hanging on a wall. I will tell you. And not just my parents' basement, but they have a boatload of it. So this is what I'm going to ask of you because I've got to go. It's my twin's birthday. To answer the question, are they going to go to the same school? Probably not. One will probably go this end of the universe, and the other one will probably go on this end of the universe just to drive me crazy. Because at 18, that's all they want to do. No, they might even stay home and go local. I don't know what is going to be their fit. First, we got to get in. And I will tell you, if there's nothing bigger than, well, there is bigger stuff. I shouldn't say that. Getting into a college nowadays is nowhere near what it was like for me. And I feel bad for the comparisons they have to live with. Thank you for the music. See, ABBA, thank you for the music. Yes. So if there's anything I'd like to know what you got out of this, but I am going to ask you, I'm going to share this to you too. I do love it, and I've been getting emails and messages and DMs. I'm not great at always messaging back. I do it in lumps or whatever, lumps. But if something resonated with you, I have been sharing testimonials. People have been emailing me their stories, and I always ask, is it okay to share? I don't put people's names on them because I don't want, I feel like I wouldn't, but I'm putting my name on my story. So, and somebody shared last week and I said, can I share? And she said, yes, if one person reads this and it helps them, I will be happy. And I'm like, okay, that's my thought. I would love for you to share Tracy Weinzapfel Studios, my Facebook page, which is where you're watching this. I will also be uploading this to YouTube. I am grateful, thankful, and blessed. And I welcome you guys to share this and share that video. If anything resonated, I'd love to know what it was. And if there's a topic you want me to talk about, I love the questions. I'll talk about it. Somebody asked me the other day, do I get to ask your story and what happened? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I'm in a different place, different space. Maria just said, thank you for the art, for the soul, and I think it's supposed to be, okay, I'll meet you there. Sorry, that is one of my kitties. They want to leave. Thank you for the art. Thank you for the soul you're bringing. Okay, what was our saying? I can finish and be done in 2 seconds. Can you hold 2 minutes? Okay. Yes? No, you go ahead and go, because then I can drive home separate. Okay. Okay. We are going to do this. This is the saying for the night. Now I need to put this on a piece of art. Okay, I have to do this tomorrow. Compare and despair, change it to admire and inspire. Yes, life goes on. Betty, it does. It's over. Life goes on. It's in my past. That's it. I remember my one friend saying in the hardest of my time, remember, it's just going to be a blip on the screen. And I said, I'm never going to get to that. I'm never. And I will tell you, I was crying in my closet saying, I can't even make a decision. So just remember that. Okay, compare and despair. Change it to admire and inspire. And if anybody uses that on an art piece, I will be so thrilled. And if you sell it for $1 million, you're so in trouble. I know what I'm doing. It's going on a piece of my art. Okay, so I do have to go be a mother. And I want to thank you. I will be here next Wednesday at 5:30. Sometimes I'll switch it up. It won't always be in my studio, but it gets dark so quickly. I can't wait till the summer. I'll go sit at a winery. I'll do it in my backyard. Life is too dang short, Patricia said. And like I said, if anything resonated, if it got you thinking, if it got you inspired to just sit down right now and try something new, that's all I'm asking. That's it. Okay, thank you for tonight. I will upload this to YouTube and feel free to share it. Thank you. Remember, grateful, thankful, blessed. Good night, all.